Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, RJ, and today we're going to be talking about the TLC Pay Per View. And I'm in a very pissed off mood right now because I just made like a 30-minute video doing the results of this pay per view and talking to you guys about my thoughts. But something bad happened. Something that broke my heart. My laptop here crashed for no reason. And when that happened, the previous video went bye-bye. So, couldn't upload that. So now I gotta make a new one. So here it is. And I am ready to talk to you guys about this pay-per-view. So we start off with A New Day versus Kofi Kingston and Big E Langston. Oh, excuse me, Big E, not Langston. No. Because they randomly took out his last name for some reason. But anyway, they had a pre-show match with Golden Stardust because they're feuding right now for some reason. And they of course, Big E Langston, or excuse me, A New Day, I guess I'll just call them that. A New Day, they won by pinfall. Match wasn't really special. It felt like a normal tag team match on Monday Night Raw. But I do like the finisher that A New Day does. It's Midnight Hour, I think. I think that's what it's called. The Midnight Hour? Something like that. But I enjoy watching that finishing move. But everything else in the match was, whatever. But next we've got Dolph Ziggler versus Luke Harper in a ladder match. And I really enjoyed this ladder match. In fact, I thought this was the best ladder match since Adrian Neville versus Bo Dallas back in January of 2014, so almost a year ago. It was that entertaining. And there was a lot of pretty good spots in this match. And actually, these guys really put their bodies on the line in this match. There were a couple bumps that these guys took that looked pretty painful. Especially the one where Luke Harper did the suicide dive through the ropes. But Dolph Ziggler held the ladder up in front of him, and Luke Harper crashed into the ladder, but it looked like he got his arm trapped under the ladder, and he and the ladder hit the ground really hard. It looked like he crushed his arm in it. I mean, it looked like it really hurt. So, I hope he's okay from that, but these guys really put their bodies on the line, so I'm very grateful that they busted their asses off to put on a good show for us. And that's exactly what they did. And Dolph Ziggler, of course, grabbed the title that was hanging up 20 feet above. Grabbed it like this. And he won. So I'm glad he did. And I picked him to go over anyway, so I would have even put money on it if I could. And I would have been happy because he would have won and I would have come out with some money. But unfortunately I didn't do that one with the money, so no money for me, but yeah, Dolph Ziggler still won. And he's got the title back, the Intercontinental title, I should say. So I'm happy. Next, we've got the tag team match. Usos versus Miz and Mizdow. And I gotta tell you, this was a pretty great tag team match. I mean, remember the tag team match at Battleground with the Usos and the Wyatt family? This was better. Just fucking kidding, it was not. It was okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't good. I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it wasn't great. But I do enjoy what Mizdow does, his shenanigans outside of the ring. When the Miz, or when he copies the Miz, when the Miz is wrestling in the ring. It always cracks me up. And I hope he keeps doing more of that for now. But I do think that eventually, it might even happen at the Royal Rumble, who knows, but I do think the Mizdow should break up with the Miz and, go his own way and get pushed, because he's very talented and very entertaining, and he deserves it because he's a great worker. So, I mean, if he can have a good match against John Cena, he can have a great match against anyone. So, I hope that happens, but anyway, they win by disqualification. Or no, I'm sorry, they lose by disqualification because they hit both the Usos in the head with their slamming awards. That is very rude, by the way. Why would they do that? I mean, if I did that, I would get arrested, so I wouldn't do that. But they did that for some reason. Don't know why they would. But you don't see like someone with an Emmy award hit someone in the face. I mean, like when someone wins and they were like going up against like 4 other actors or whatever, you wouldn't see the winner take his Emmy award and hit someone else in the head with it. No. But anyway, that match was meh. That's all I gotta say about it. Then we got the stairs match. Eric Rowan and Big Show. And I thought this match would be a pretty big dud. I thought it would be the second worst match on the card. But actually, it ended up being like the 4th worst match on the card. Can you believe that? Amazing things happen, I guess. But the match was actually pretty good. I was okay with it. It wasn't a great work of art, but it wasn't a piece of shit either. I did like some of the spots they did in the match though, like Eric Rowan body slamming Big Show onto steel steps, and I bet that actually hurt. Heck, that would hurt me. And then we got Eric Rowan, who had these steel steps in his hands, and he jumped down from the turnbuckles and tried to hit Big Show, who was lying on steel steps. So it was almost like a steel step sandwich. But he moved out of the way. But I actually think the steel steps that Eric Rowan was holding actually clipped the Big Show right in the hip. So I bet that was really painful. But he's 7 feet tall, 440 pounds. What do you expect? He's too old, and he's just not quick enough. He's too fat. So what do you expect? He's not fast enough. And then actually Eric Rowan built like a stair fort for some reason. And I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. Anyway, he was going to use those against Big Show, of course, but actually the tables were turned and Eric Rowan was thrown through the stairs thanks to a spear by the Big Show. Oh yeah, when Big Show does the spear, it always looks freaking awesome. Of course, I'm being sarcastic though. Anyway, Big Show wins by pinfall because he pinned Eric Rowan with steel steps. How clever is that? These steel stairs were used against Eric Rowan to lose this match. Very ironic. But, okay match. Pretty decent. Not gonna lie. But, we got our 4th match, which is John Cena versus Seth Rollins. And I did enjoy this match, although I hated the outcome, because John Cena won by putting Seth Rollins through a table. Now let's go through this match, shall we? First, when John Cena was the first one to get out of a table, but J&J Security pulled the table away from John Cena. And actually, every time he tried to get a table, it was pulled away by J&J Security. And every time he was going to put Seth Rollins through a table, J&J Security would come in and stop John Cena. So I liked how they utilized them in this match. But of course, John Cena is more stronger than those 2 former wrestlers combined, which makes no sense, and beat the shit out of them. And then later on in this match, we had a ref bump, and I honestly hate ref bumps because sometimes they look really stupid, kind of like the ref bump in the Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn match. Because Sami Zayn was going for his finisher when Adrian Neville was in the turnbuckle, or was on the turnbuckles, and they did the thing where Sami Zayn was supposed to boot Adrian Neville right in the face, but he ends up hitting the ref too. But you can clearly tell he missed the ref by a mile. So that was a really stupid looking ref bump, which was the only bad thing about that match. But at least this ref bump in this TLC match, or I'm sorry, the TLC Pay Per View match, was not as bad, but it was still stupid. And then the ref was knocked down, and then John Cena put Seth Rollins through a table. Oh, but the ref didn't see it, so it's like as if nothing ever happened. and which doesn't make any sense, because remember how in Extreme Rules of 2013, you know, Alberto Del Rio, I was like trying to remember the name, but yeah, Alberto Del Rio was facing Jack Swagger, and Zeb Coulter grabbed Alberto Del Rio's manager's towel and threw it in the ring, and the ref thought it was from Alberto Del Rio's manager. And so, it was like, okay, so he threw in the towel, Jack Swagger wins. But then, didn't another ref come out and told the ref about what happened, and then he told, he got the headset and told someone back in the back area, whatever, to replay what happened on the big Titantron. Well, why the hell did they not do it in this match, If you're going to do shit like this, you might as well have another ref come out and change the results. That's ridiculous. Anyway, ref didn't see it, so the match continues. But later on, we get to a point where there's tables set up outside of the ring. Seth Rollins and John Cena are brawling on the apron, and they both fall down and crash to the tables right as the ref started regaining consciousness. How ironic is that? And he sees that someone went through a table, so he calls for the bell, and then realizes, wait a minute, they both went through a table. Then two other refs came out, and one was like, yeah, John Cena won, woohoo, go Cena! Then everyone's like, no, Seth Rollins won, yeah, go Seth Rollins. Then Mike Chioda, who was the main ref in this match, was like, fuck this shit, we're restarting the match. And then, for some reason, just not very long after the match was restarted, Big Show, who has nothing else to do in his career, came out and wanted to attack John Cena. And I think the reason why I wanted to do that was because Big Show felt that his feud against John Cena in 2012 was a complete dud and awful, so he wanted to, redeem himself by beating the shit out of John Cena. But Roman Reigns was like, not on my watch. I got your back, John Cena. You're my best buddy in the whole wide world. Comes out there, Superman punches and spears Big Show through a table, of course. And looks like Roman Reigns is actually ready to compete now because he was wearing his Shield garb. So it looks like he's ready. And looks like he's going to start some little tiny feud with Big Show. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. They're going to have great matches. Not. Anyway, though, that didn't make any sense to me because Roman Reigns totally kissed John Cena's ass there and during that time on the match. And it didn't make sense to me because Roman Reigns doesn't seem like... Sorry, my neck is being weird. Anyway, Roman Reigns doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would kiss someone's ass, especially John Cena. So I was confused by this outcome, and I also hated it. But Seth Rollins tried to hit Roman Reigns with the briefcase, and Roman Reigns Superman punches Seth Rollins, and then John Cena. And then he's fed to John Cena, and John Cena puts Seth Rollins through a table via attitude adjustment. And your winner, John Cena. John Cena. I mean, I guess they had Seth Rollins lose this match because they have other things planned for him that are bigger than John Cena sometime in the near future. But, I mean, it really is not going to hurt John Cena to get put through a freaking table. It really is not. I mean, it's not like he's being pinned for a 3 count. I mean, seriously, I haven't been this mad about John Cena winning a match since when he beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. It didn't make any sense for that to happen. Bray Wyatt should have won that match. He should have put him over. But no. That did not happen. And so, very disappointed. And it looks like he's going to do the same thing to Rusev at WrestleMania 31. And that's a bummer. Because Rusev deserves to go over John Cena as well, because he is the future, just like Bray Wyatt, just like Seth Rollins. So John Cena is gonna bury Rusev at WrestleMania 31. I'm gonna be very disappointed with that as well. But anyway, let's not talk about what's gonna happen later, and let's talk about the next match. And that was Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee. Alright. There was no kiss action in this match. But, I mean, this, and also, on another point, this match was, or the match at Survivor Series was not as good as this match, obviously. But this match here at TLC still wasn't great, anyways. You know, it was also felt like a Monday Night Raw Divas match, for crying out loud. Although, there were two really good things about this match. One was that move that Nikki Bella does. It's like she jumps off the turnbuckle and spins and kicks you in the face. Kind of like John Morrison's, was it the Chuck kick or something like that? Almost kind of like that, except she does it on the turnbuckles. But I like that one. And I also like watching Nikki Bella just herself, because she's hot. But she wins, and you know, probably because AJ Lee will be leaving soon. So, you know, what's the point of having her win if she's gonna leave? That's the rumors I've heard anyway. But the next match was was it the tables match? Or no, I'm sorry, the chairs match, not the tables match, with Kane and Ryback. Now, I thought this match was gonna suck really bad, but it actually didn't. It was okay. It really was. It was okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling the truth. I thought it was okay. Although, the only really good thing about this match was there's a spot where Kane was in the corner and Ryback was on the opposite corner, and he was setting up for the meat hook clothesline. But as he was running, Kane throws a chair, and it hits Ryback right in the face, and it was freaking loud. It sounded like there was a gun that went off, and I was like, oh boy, I hope Ryback is okay after taking that shot. But nah, he was fine. He's a big guy. He's the big guy. So he's tough. That's all I gotta say. But of course, you know, he wins by pinfall. So not a surprise there, because Kane has lost almost every match this entire year. So I wasn't very surprised by that. Next we've got Rusev versus Jack Swagger. And this was a pretty short match. It felt like it was 4 or 5 minutes or something. But I do like how they had Jack Swagger power out of the Accolade, because no one's actually ever done that before. And it kind of made you feel like, wait a minute, maybe Jack Swagger actually has a chance to win, you know, because anything can happen in WWE. And I knew, of course, Rusev was going to win, but it actually gave me that feeling after he did that. Then, you know, a couple minutes later, boom, Rusev gives him the super kick and slaps on the Accolade a second time, and no one can power out of it a second time. Very few people can do it the first time, but no one can do it the second time. Except for one man, John Cena. At WrestleMania 31, he will do that, which I'll be looking forward to seeing. Anyway, not a very special match. It was meh, nothing really much to talk about. So Rusev still retains the US title. And how ironic is this? Rusev hates America and hates the people in America, but yet he has the United States title. What? I don't get that. I find it ironic, and I also find it making no sense at the same time. That's just my opinion there. But after that match, actually I got really confused, because what's funny was I thought John Cena versus Seth Rollins was going to be the main event of TLC, but they started at the halfway point of the show, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Who's going to be the main event of the show? And it's funny because I totally forgot Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt were having a match. I totally forgot. As soon as the show started, it completely left my mind. And so when the John Cena match and Seth Rollins happened, I was like, wait a minute, well, who's going to main event in TLC? Frickin' Rusev and Swagger? That doesn't make any sense. So when the Rusev and Swagger match ended, there was like 40 minutes left. I'm like, well, what's going to happen with the last 40 minutes? Then they showed the hype video, hyping up the Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt match, and I was like, oh, I'm stupid. I was like that. That was literally my exact expression and my exact motions with my hands and face. And that is exactly what I said, was I was stupid during the time that I started watching this hype video. And I really felt dumb. But let's get to the match. They had the match, and it was pretty frickin' awesome. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed it thoroughly. There were some pretty intense spots in this match too. Dean Ambrose jumped off a ladder 3 times and did elbow drops to Bray Wyatt, who was lying on a table. 3 times, like I said. So I don't think no one's done that before. No one's done the same spot like that 3 times in a row. So I was happy with that. Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose really put their bodies on the line too in this match. So in fact, really, like all the performers in this pay-per-view did. So you know what? Round of applause. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm serious. Round of applause to all those workers who busted their asses off putting on a good show. But anyway, during the match, Dean Ambrose found this random TV monitor that was under the ring for some reason. You know, has no business being under there. But anyway, he wants to use it as a weapon, of course, to bash Bray Wyatt in the face with it. And he grabs it, but it's like plugged into an outlet that's somewhere in the ring. I didn't realize there was actually electricity under the ring, but he does. But he can't pull it out the first time. Like, he was gonna hit him, but like it pulled back. He's like, oh, it's stuck to something. So he yanks it out, and the TV explodes. Wait, what? The TV? What? That doesn't make any sense. He was trying to pull the cord out that was plugged into the outlet that was under the ring, but instead of like the outlet exploding, the TV explodes. Now I know storyline wise and WWE creative wise that was supposed to happen. They thought that was a good idea. But when you take that out of concept and just use logic and think about this with your brain, it doesn't make any sense. And it's like a fairly new TV monitor too. It's not like a 1980s one. It looked like it was brand new, and it exploded. I mean, that's like SpongeBob logic. That's campfire underwater logic. So I thought the ending was terrible. It was awful. Ugh. It felt like an Impact Wrestling ending. And can you believe that? On a WWE show. Disgusting. But yeah, enjoyed the match. Hated the ending. Oh, my goodness. You know, an ending like that worked in the 1980s. You know, you'd splash the water or the salt or the sand, whatever you had, splashed it in their face, and they would get blinded and then get rolled up for a 3 count. But, I mean, it doesn't work anymore. No one wants to see that shit. But, you know, what do you expect? TV blows up, so that right there, you knew that Dean Ambrose was going to lose. And he did, by way of Sister Abigail. So, a great match. It wasn't, obviously the match wasn't ruined in my opinion, but my mood was ruined, at least, when the ending happened, because I was happy, I was pumped up, I was feeling great, and then this piece of crap happens. I mean, it's like they literally just It's like they were filming someone taking a dump, literally. It almost felt like that, and I was just like, well, this sucks. So, but I mean, despite that, I give the pay-per-view 8.5 out of 10 stars in my opinion. I enjoyed it pretty well. There were some flaws, but in my opinion, I felt like there were more positives. And I was actually surprised to see that when on the Facebook page of WWE, they asked a question: "Did you enjoy the show?" And there was like, I mean, thousands of people answered it, but there was like 2,000 more no's than there were yeses. And I was actually surprised by that. So, because I liked it. But what's funny was I remember when they asked that question for Survivor Series, and like there was a way wide margin of yeses compared to nos. Like there was 10,000 likes, or I'm sorry, yeses, and like only 100 nos. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive margin. This was not a pretty impressive margin here at TLC. So apparently, WWE failed according to most fans. And they did say they promised that this was going to be better than the NXT, was it Evolution? Their special event that happened last Wednesday, or excuse me, last Thursday. And you guys are going to hate me for this, but in my opinion, I kind of did think it was a little bit better. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville match was obviously the better match if you compare the two events, but I just felt more entertained for some reason watching the TLC pay-per-view. But I mean, I also enjoyed the NXT special too, but you know, I just felt slightly more. I was leaning slightly more towards TLC just because I felt like there was more entertaining stuff going on in that show than NXT, of course. But and also like the NXT special had like a better Divas match than TLC, which that's probably one of my favorite things about NXT because their Divas matches are always so good. They're always way better than WWE Divas matches on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or Main Event or Superstars or whatever. So, but I mean, NXT is a great show too. So, and they're way better than Monday Night Raw, of course, without a doubt. But I don't agree with people that like think that an NXT Evolution was way better than TLC. I just can't agree with that. But anyway, this is the end of this video. So you guys, let me know your thoughts were of this pay-per-view event, special event, and give me your opinions on this, because I really enjoy listening to other people's opinions, whether I agree or disagree. I still like to hear what other people have to say. So if you have any thoughts you'd like to show, please put them down in the comment section below. And if you want to like and share the video, that's fine with me too. I'm not some like whore that just demands you to do that, but I ain't mad if you're going to do that. I'll be happy. It lets me know people actually like this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.